But we have a difference in age, that you are a child according to the Constitution of Uganda because you are below 18 years of age. I am adult, and that is the only difference that we have. But we are all citizens in the country, in our beloved country, Uganda. So in that, we should be able to know what are those things that we are free to do. Those are called freedoms. What you are free to do. Let's have this interactive picture and we look at it well. Okay? I would like to request one of you to go through with us in this. Ajangole. Ajangole is not on mic, so I can't give her a chance. Tracy and Jovia. Tracy and Jovia, there's a problem here. My admin, the participants are not given permission to either. Good, very good. Thank you very much. Now the permission has come. I was trying to look for Ajangole. Yes, Ajangole? Can you unmute? Good. Can you take us through the picture? Examples of human rights?
Education. Assembly. Association.
Leave it there. I choose another person. Say, okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, you can now mute. Thank you. She has stopped there. I'm going to ask Tracy and Jovia. Tracy and Jovia, please unmute. Tracy and Jovia, please unmute. Permission granted. Good. We are going to start from Tracy, then Jovia will take us through. Yes?
Movement, tradition, speech.
Yes.
Information, press, thought.
Thank you very much. You can now mute. You are the best. Today, I have a very wonderful primary 4 class. My administrators will take note of that the children can mute and unmute. That's very good. Okay, so what do we mean by each of these words? What do we mean by each of these that we have seen here? Now, when we say a right to education, what do we mean? Okay, that you have access to education. You have access to education. You can get access to your school without any problem, save for now when we have corona pandemic. And that's why we are not able to go to school. It's not that the government is violating your rights. They are not abusing your right to education. No, it is because of the pandemic, coronavirus, and that's why we are at home. Okay? Now, what do we mean when we say a right to assembly? A right to assembly means that you have a privilege to any kind of a meeting that is intended to give you good information. But if you assemble for something that is bad, that is not good. That is again the abuse of the rights. If you assemble for something good like prayer, you assemble for health meeting, you assemble for you, that's your right. There's no one who will stop you, especially in this period of COVID, when people are supposed to get information about health. Remember, the government has stopped any kind of coming together because of the spread of COVID-19, but you have that right. You also have a right to association. Association, these are groups of people who have come together for a purpose. Okay? If you come together for a purpose, maybe development, maybe building up a school, maybe anything that is good for the community, it's your right. You also have a right to movement, but it should be a responsible movement, okay? And that's why if you are to move to another country, you should have what we call a passport. We shall see it in our lesson. It is that passport that gives you the right and the privilege. You cannot just wake up in the morning and then you go to America without any document. How will you be identified that you are a Ugandan? So you have a right to movement, but you also have a responsibility to move in an identified way. Okay? I hope I'm understood there. You have a right to movement, but you have to move in an identified way. When you are identified, because the passport identifies you. In case of anything, you are able to be brought back home by the government of Uganda. Okay? So we have a right to religion. I'm really sorry that I'm teaching this lesson when churches are closed, so children may be really finding it difficult to understand me. But I want you to take it that churches are not open because of the pandemic, coronavirus or COVID-19, okay? A right to speech. When we say a right to speech, you have a right to talk, but you should not talk things that cause war. You should not speak things that abuse God. You shouldn't talk things that abuse the government. That's bad. That is now your responsibility. If you have a right to speech, then you have a responsibility to speak what is right only. Okay? So those are a few. Okay, thank you very much. We have online church. We even have online school. No one will arrest me because I have 66 of you here, but I am not with you in the same place. So online school is good. Online church is good. Also, when you speak things that will protect and prevent the people from getting coronavirus, that is very good. If you speak things that will comfort people in this period of time when people are stressed, if you give a speech that encourages people, I will even post it on my YouTube page because you are wonderful and all the world will hear you presenting that kind of a wonderful speech. Okay? The right to information. As little children, there is certain information that you shouldn't get, especially the information of exposing your sexuality. That is pornography. That information, you are not supposed to get it. It's bad information. So it is your responsibility to get information that will build you up. Like this information now that you are having, I am giving you the information. This information will help you to become a responsible person. Okay? Chironde, I hope you're getting me. A right to press. Now, when we say the right of press, these are the people who give us news. Okay? But you don't have to give news that is not right. Like last time, someone gave news that the president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, had died. That was bad news, and it was wrong news. You're not supposed to give such news. It is against the law. Okay? So you have a responsibility to give only authentic, correct news. Okay? And then you also have a right to give your opinion, your thought, what you think about something. Okay? That's why you see people talking on radio, people talking on TV, they are trying to express their thought of what is happening or what they feel about what is happening. So they have a right. They have a right of thought. Okay? So these are the rights of everyone who is human. Everyone, you and me, everyone who is human has these rights. Okay? So we are going to move a little and we see now the rights. I think I have given them in that, I gave them in that picture. We already have them. So these are the ones that you already have. Some of them you don't have, like this one, a right to fair judgment in court. You have that right as human, that if you have gotten a problem, you have broken the law, you are not supposed to be dumped in prison without appearing before court. It is court that will declare you imprisoned. It is the court that will declare you guilty. I talked about the right to worship. I talked about the right to speech. We talked about that. A right to public information. I think I talked about that you have a right to information. But as a child, you need to be very selective of the information that you should have. Okay? I have my friend here on chat. Okay. I will get back shortly after finishing up this, please. Okay, a right to security. You have that right to be in a secure environment. Okay, that's why we have the police. That's why we have the army to provide security to the people. It is one of the benefits that you have, but also your responsibility to protect your nation. Okay, now this will be for children. I will explain that later. A right to play, that is for children. Now, in Uganda, we have got a body responsible for the protection of children's rights. Okay, bright children, if they can be here, they can tell us that Agasha. Agasha. Yes, Agasha. Agasha, I'm giving you a chance. No, Agasha is not. Dowell. This name is very difficult. Dowell. Dowell, are you there? Kadu. Kadu Dowell.
Yes, teacher.
Could you try to tell us, could you be knowing the body which is responsible for protection of people's rights? Have you ever had? Wow, thank you for that try. Can somebody build on Dowell's answer? Dowell, say it again.
Uganda human rights.
Somebody help us to complete. That's a good try. Solomon Modi. Solomon Modi.
Uganda Human Rights Commission.
Oh, wow. That is the king himself. Thank you very much. The Prince of Peace. Okay. So in Uganda, it's called Uganda Human Rights Commission. That is what the king has added, commission. So UHRC is Uganda Human Rights Commission. Okay. Irene, I want Irene, Kathy. Irene, can you please unmute? Yes, Irene.
Yes, sir.
Can you read for us that in red ink?
The body which is responsible for protecting people's rights in Uganda is called the Uganda Human Rights Commission.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Pamela Ruth. Pamela Ruth.
Yes, teacher.
What is UHRC in full?
Uganda Human Rights Commission.
Spell for us the word commission.
COMMISSION.
Okay, Pamela.
Yes.
I want to give you this. Whenever someone asks you to spell the word,
Yes.
there are 3 things that you should do. The first one, say the word. The second one, spell the word. And then the third one, say the word. Ruth?
Yes.
Can you do it now?
Commission. COMMISSION. Commission.
Well tried. Now we don't have double M. We don't have double M. We don't have double S. No, we have MM. SS. Okay?
Yes.
Pamela, one more last time. Spell the word commission.
Commission. COMMISSION. Commission.
Very good, Pamela. Whoever I will ask to spell the word, that is what you should do. I remember saying it, Ben Carson, thank you. Okay. Okay. Let me do that very fast. Bencam, thank you very much for that. I would like to make my admin a host, a co-host. Okay. So whenever you are rename, I can't do that. Please remove pin. Okay. My admin, I can't make you a co-host. Yes, I think one of us will do it as I continue. So whenever you get the chance to spell the word, learn to follow the formula that we have shared there. Say the word, spell the word, and then again, say the word. Okay, so that the information remains in your head. And we don't have double M. We don't have double S. What we have is MMSS. That is how you spell that word. Okay. My admin, I don't have the right. I tried to make you co-host, but when I looked at, okay, sorry. Okay, so let's move on. Sorry for that interruption. Let's move on. So let us look at citizenship, okay? Citizenship, we have seen that word. We have seen that word from, okay. We have seen that word from the definition of the word human rights. We are able to see that word. So now I would like us to look at the meaning. Citizenship is the right of being a member of a particular country. So if you have that right, then you have what we call citizenship, okay? A citizen now is that individual or a person who has a full right to live in a particular country, okay? So therefore, you get benefits, all benefits, when you become a citizen of a particular country. You begin to enjoy the benefits of being a citizen in that particular country. The question comes in, how do I become a citizen? How do I become a citizen? Let me share with you some few experiences here. Robert, Robert, please. Are you there? I'm giving you the chance. Robert. Robert Muga. Yes, Robert? Hello, my good boy.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Robert.
Yes,
Hello,
teacher.
Robert. Okay. Can you share
Yes,
with us?
teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you now listening?
Yes.
Oh, I think Robert is having another lesson in the background and he is not listening as well. I wanted him to share with us what, first of all, he understands by the word citizen, and then he also shares with us the different ways that people can become citizens, especially here in Uganda. Okay? In Uganda, the first one is to all of us by birth. If you are born in Uganda by the parents who are not Ugandans or whatsoever, you automatically become a Ugandan by birth. Okay? All of us, if not a few, are citizens of this country by birth. So we get that right to belong to Uganda as citizens of Uganda simply because we are born in Uganda. You have come across many of the Indians that we have here in Uganda, and they are Ugandans simply because they were born here in Uganda. Okay? So we have got those particular people who become Ugandans by registration. Okay? There are some of the conditions that you should follow before you register as a Ugandan. First of all, you must have stayed in Uganda for more than 5 years without returning to your home country. That is one of the requirement for registration. And then two, you must be having you must be having someone you depend on in Uganda. Let me give this example. If a young man gets married to a person who is not a Ugandan, a lady who is not a Ugandan, okay? If that person stays in Uganda with her husband here for a period of more than 5 years without returning, then that person is having a right to register as a citizen simply because her husband is a Ugandan by birth. Her husband is purely a Ugandan. So such kind of people go and carry on what we call registration. And in the registration process, they are declared Ugandans. Okay? So we have got by descent. Now, this word descent comes from the word a decent dress. You know, when we say this person has dressed well, it means that your dress is able to make people to be happy with you. So if you do a decent act in Uganda, for example, you are not a Ugandan, but during the floods, let us say of River Nyamwamba in Western Uganda, you worked hard and saved lives. You saved the people in that heavy downpour when the river bursts its banks. You save people, you help people, such decent acts. The government can declare you a citizen. Okay? One of the decent acts that you can do is, let's say, to win a gold medal for Uganda. Like you have just seen Joseph Cheptegei. Joseph Cheptegei is a Ugandan, okay? But if he was not a Ugandan and he goes ahead to represent Uganda in Olympics, and then he brings such a wonderful medal to the country, such decent acts can earn one to become a citizen of Uganda. Another decent act is discovering, let's say, a vaccine, let us say a medicine for a very dangerous disease. For this example right now, coronavirus, okay? If you get this medicine right now, and you are living in Uganda temporarily, maybe you have come for 5 or 10 days or 20, and you discover this medicine, such decent acts can earn you citizenship in Uganda, okay? Then we have got adoption. Adoption, if you are adopted, you become a citizen of Uganda. And now, I want us to observe, naturalization. Now, what do we mean by naturalization? The fact that your great-grandparents were Ugandans, okay? The fact that your great-grandparents were Ugandans, you will automatically become a Ugandan by naturalization, okay? Okay, it has gone off. I wanted to look for that person who is making noise, but I think the noise has disappeared mysteriously by the grace of God. Okay, so these are examples or different ways in which we can become citizens of Uganda. Okay, so let us have a look at a few of these. That is a symbol now. Whoever you get with that must be a Ugandan. How do you conclude that? We have the Uganda flag. We have the Uganda map. We have got our emblem. And this is what we call the national identification card. Okay? One of them is that the passport, the Republic of Uganda passport. Now, this is a book that has got information that concerns you. It is a book that is used for traveling. Okay? That's why I was saying that you have a right to travel, but you also have a responsibility to have an identification before you travel. Okay? Before you move, don't just wake up in the morning and then you start going to Entebbe International Airport because you have the money. No, you need to have identification passport of Uganda. Okay? So, let us continue and we look at, yes?
You've unmuted me.
But you are talking.
But you've unmuted me by mistake.
Okay, you can mute. Can you do that? Okay, good girl. Thank you. So let us continue. We have conditions where one can get two. Where one can get two citizenship. Okay?
Teacher, I
Yes.
can't see.
Okay, let me see. I'm putting it wide so that I can see you. Okay, I've seen you. Thank you, Chirabo. Okay, Chirabo was not able to see herself, but I have seen her. Okay, so let's continue. I was trying to explain something, that there is a condition where one becomes a citizen of two or more countries. That is called dual citizenship. Okay? Now, dual citizenship is when a person acquires citizenship of two countries. How can that be possible? In this, we have example. If Mr. Tim has married a wife from Tanzania, okay? Mr. Otim produces children with that wife from Tanzania. Okay? The children of Mr. Otim are Ugandans because their father is a Ugandan by naturalization. So the children of Otim are Ugandans because their great-grandfather, Reverend John Edite, is a Ugandan. Understood? But again, these children are Tanzanians. Why? Because their great-grandmother is a Tanzanian. So you can see that kind of a condition. So such kind of children
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes. I can hear you.
If you get many citizenship apart from 2, do you get chased out of the country?
No, you cannot get more than 2 because you look at the condition that I'm trying to explain here. It is not possible for you to have a grandmother in Kenya, a grandmother in Tanzania, a grandmother in Sweden, a grandmother in Russia. It's not possible. You understand? It is not possible. You will always have one mother and one father. Okay? So that is why we have got dual citizenship, because the children are produced by 2 people. Okay? So in that case, if one person belongs to another country and the other person belongs to another country, automatically those children will possess dual citizenship. Okay? So you cannot have more than 2. Okay?
Okay.
Have you understood my point? Okay. Let me try to do that again and I see. Okay. So we can continue. So I was explaining dual citizenship and my friend there asked me, can we have more than 3, more than 2? And we are saying that that can't happen because you cannot have citizenship of more than 2. And the occurrence of citizenship of 2 is because there is a condition whereby people of different countries get together in marriage. And in that case, they will automatically produce children who have got 2 citizenship. Okay? Let me hear from Nalukwago. Nalukwago, please get ready and unmute. Nalukwago.
Yes, teacher.
Good girl. Dual citizenship is not getting in your head, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Give us your question. Give us your question exactly.
Understand. Excuse
First,
me,
ask the
teacher.
question.
Teacher,
Yes.
teacher, how does your great grandmother be from Tanzania, yet your great grandfather is from Uganda?
That comes because my mother comes from Uganda.
Yes.
Or my father comes from Uganda.
Yes.
And my mother comes from Tanzania.
Yes.
So in that case, I have a grandmother, the one who produced my mother from Tanzania, and the one who produced my father from Uganda.
Oh, teacher, I've now understood.
So you can get dual citizenship because of such a condition.
Yes.
If your mother comes from another country and your father comes from
I
another.
have not understood.
Ask a question, my friend. Oh, these people have not paid attention. Okay, thank you. Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy is not on mic.
Teacher, we have not understood.
Ask the question, please. Dual citizenship. Nalukwago, can you talk to me?
You have to raise your hand now.
That class is very noisy. Muanike, that class is very noisy at home. Dear parents, help us to make learning take place at home. Okay, that is our cry. Because when you leave that noise in the background, okay. Ruthie Ankunda has got a question here that some people have more than 2 wives, but the children they produce will always have 1 mother. Okay? So if you have 3 wives, your children will have 1 mother. They will not have 3 mothers. Okay? So 1 mother will always have to have a child, and that child will get citizenship of the country or the place of the mother's origin, because of the fact that she has got relatives in that part of the country. I hope I have made myself clear there. Okay, so let's look at the duties and responsibilities of citizens. Duties of responsibilities and citizens. Okay, these are the citizens, and this is a duty. What is a duty? Boys and girls, a duty is an action required by law, something that is required from you by law. One of the example is going to school. It is by law that you must go to school. If you are got lounging in the streets.
What is jury duty?
Yes.
What is jury duty?
What is duty? Okay, I'm trying to explain duty. Pay
Jury
attention.
duty.
I'm trying to explain that. Can you please pay attention? I've just put a slide up. Okay. So first pay attention as I explain that, all right? Okay. So let's continue. Somebody has said, what is duties? Now I'm trying to explain duty and then responsibility. That's what I'm now getting to. So when we say your duty, this is an action that is required of you, that you must do by law. Okay? I was giving example of going to school. Okay? Going to school is a must. It is by law. Okay? You must go to school. Okay? Now, we have got jury. This is the word that my friend was trying to ask me. That teacher, what is jury? That I like such children because they are quick to analyze things and get to ask questions. That is very good. Okay? Now, the word jury comes from the word judiciary. Okay? It comes from the word judiciary. It actually means, we can say, by law, reasonably by law. Okay? If somebody is going to defend, if you have got if you have committed crime, okay? If you have committed crime and then you are taken to court, okay? To have a lawyer is to enjoy the jury duty, or the rest, to benefit from the actions of a lawyer. It's very unfortunate that for us here in Uganda, it is only the rich people who can have lawyers. Okay? But every Ugandan has got a right to a lawyer. It is by law that you must have a lawyer. But it is very unfortunate. Sometimes we get to court and there is no one to stand with us. But in most cases, you see people saying, Council Elias Lukwago has gone to stand with someone in court. That means that he has just given his responsibility to get that person get illegal ear or attention. So jury duty is that law, the right to have a lawyer, or the right to be listened to in courts of law. Then we also have our responsibility of obeying the law. We have our responsibility of paying taxes, okay? Paying taxes is by law. You must pay taxes, okay? Thank you very much. Let us continue. Oh, somebody says my dad works there. So your dad provides jury duty. Okay. Community service. This is now our responsibility. Community service. What is community service? This is when a group of people in a community put their hands together and make a service for the people, either cleaning the road, either cleaning the water source, either building the school. Community, you do work as a community. It's very unfortunate that you children are now growing up when things have changed. I remember when I was growing up, we used to go and clean the roads. We used to go and weed the road, trim the roads. Every family member used to take a person to go and clean the main road. And by then, roads were very clean. There were no potholes. But these days, we look at the government. Everything we look at the government. But we used to do this community service. People used to go and build schools. Everyone picks a brick. Everyone picks water. Everyone picks anything that you can pick and go and build a school. And we used to have those schools built out of mud and poles and grass on top. Okay? We have a responsibility to vote. It is our responsibility to vote. Okay? It is our responsibility to vote. Then to serve in the military. Now, my friend, this is where we have got another discussion. I'm sure if I open right now my participants to talk, they are going to say, who will go there and die? Who will go there and die? Chironde Mark, I'm coming to that point. Chironde Mark is running very fast, has already reached to the last point. Let us first explain service in the military. In other countries, everyone is a soldier. But for us in Uganda, oh, people fear. Who will go to the army and die? But now, whom do you want to die to protect you? Ask that question. If you don't want to join military, whom do you want to die protecting you? Now you are going to tell me those ones who are earning salary. Of course, they are earning salary, but it is our role as Ugandans to serve in the army. And you can serve in the army as a doctor. You can serve in the army as a teacher. You can serve in the army as a lawyer. You can serve in any position that you will be. You can serve in the army. So serving in the army does not mean holding a gun and going to war. No. Boys and girls, get to know that serving in the army means serving the people. But the only difference is that you put on a uniform, okay? And you obey an order. But you can be serving in the army in any position, displaying patriotism. Now, this is where my friend went very fast and asked teacher, what is patriotism? Now, patriotism simply means love for your country. What is patriotism? Mukanzi and Mark Chironde. Patriotism means love for your country. To love your country. This is what I really want you all to take up this responsibility. To love your country means to love your leaders. To love your country means to fight corruption. To love your country means to be a disciplined child. That means that you love your country. But when I was, I was very early in this class, and I saw some of you were chatting and you were talking to one another in a way that doesn't show love for the country, you know? This one is Chi-Ugandan, this one is Chi-Ugandan. Now you see this one says, I love India very much. Can you imagine? I love India. Can you imagine? Even you put on t-shirts written, I love New York. Oh, that is very unfortunate. You go and buy a shirt which is written, I love New York. Very unfortunate. So as children, we need to grow up with love for our country, willing to serve the people in our country. Okay? Leave about the thing of politics and other things that surround us. No. Uganda is bigger than any other person. So patriotism means love for your country. Okay, now Chironde says, I love Uganda. That's very good. I'm happy to hear that. So that is one of your responsibilities. Angel Mukaranzi, thank you. So let's continue quickly. And then we look at, we finished that. We have already finished that. Oh, duties of a good citizen. We have looked at a few of them. Let us try to summarize this. Okay, so duties of a good citizen. One, we have talked of obeying laws. We have talked of keeping law and order. How do you keep law and order? Okay, how do you keep law and order? Aaron? Hello, Aaron? Aona? I don't know that name. Over Aona, over who? Drusilla? Nantumbwe? Please unmute. How do we keep law and order as citizens?
By reporting wrongdoers.
Okay, very good. When we report wrongdoers, that means we are helping to keep law and order. Okay, thank you. What do you mean by the word promptly? Promptly.
Immediately.
Okay, good. But also without fail.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Paying taxes promptly means what?
Promptly.
Promptly means
that is what somebody has just said. Nantumbi has just said, immediately, without delaying, without defaulting. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, like if you have got to pay your taxes every month, don't wait for 2 months to pass, then you pay. That is not good. Okay?
Yes.
Promptly means at the right time. Okay?
Yes, teacher.
So as citizens that are growing up, as citizens that will take over this country, you have to learn to pay your taxes promptly at the right time. Then participating in community work. I think I have explained that one. Community work, that's when people come together to do something for the good of the people. Okay, Agasha, thank you. When people get together for the good of people, that is called community work. It can be cleaning the boreholes. Nowadays, you don't even know what boreholes are. These are water sources that are pumped using the hands. You know, you are children of the city, you don't know what boreholes are, so it's very difficult to explain to you that how can someone go and clean a water source? Because your water sources are taps at home? No, we have got water sources like wells, we have springs, we have boreholes. These places need to be kept clean. And so it is the responsibility of the people to clean water sources. I can see Chironde has laughed louder because I said your water sources are taps. You don't know boreholes, you don't know springs and wells. You only see them in the screen. But we should learn to carry out community work. There are many examples of community work. You can even wake up in the morning and start cleaning that road near home. Start cleaning that street. Start burning buveras. That is the responsibility of a citizen. Okay, so boys and girls, our time is up. We are going to look at the main duty. The main duty of every citizen is to keep law and order. I will ask you to go to the Google Classroom so that you can, okay, sorry. I will ask you to go to the Google Classroom so that you can get the notes, and then you will be able to quickly do the activity that we have given you there. Okay. From me and all the team, I would like to say goodbye. We will be meeting again next week. Get ready. The announcement is that you are going to have examinations